All right, what is going on today? We have a Nissan Maxima. I forgot the year. It's like a 2012 or something. I did step in mud. Damn it. Anyways, this is a customer car. This isn't a personal car like these ones I have. But this is, they're having a leak in the power steering. They say it's the power steering rack, which we have. But I want to show you guys how to find that out real quick. Because I did look all over the car first. I always check, make sure, no fluid. Okay, that's a given. Or I should say that's a good sign that there's a leak. But I followed all the lines, checked everything from the top here. Don't see any wetness. Got underneath the car to the power steering pump on this side over here. It's hard for me to get in with the camera, but there's nothing. Typically with these Nissans, a lot of it is the high pressure line. In my career, that's what I've seen the most of. So that's what I wanted to check. That's actually dry and good. It actually looks brand new. It looks like they replaced that first, possibly. But if you come in over here, you can kind of see, might be able to see on camera, that there is some wetness. A good way to tell if your power steering is leaking or not, just take a little pick, just pop a hole in there, just tiny little hole. Like that, pull it out, and it should, well, that one's not coming. I did poke further in the back. I already poked a couple holes, something might have leaked out already, but that's how I found out earlier, is I popped a hole, and fluid started coming out, started bubbling up, kind of like in the back there, you see that one? So that one is, so this is leaking fluid. Slowly but surely. So I'll show you guys how to take this power steering rack out on jack stands. It's definitely easier with the lift, but you gotta work with what you got. So with exhaust, I'm not gonna take them all off. I'm gonna show you guys though. It's 3 right here to the manifold. Creeper. 3 over here, if you guys can see. Might not be able to. 1's up there. I'm going to get my extension for that one. And then it's 2 in the back over there. Probably do it without taking it off. But I have fat hands. And I don't like having to work with a bunch of crap in my way. So I'm going to take those off real quick. Now, I remembered I wasn't finished. I just remembered this. I wasn't finished what I was saying about why I don't use power tools on exhaust bolts and stuff like that. The same truck keeps driving by. But the reason why is because a lot of them are, hot, cold, so they seize up and all that, and et cetera, right? So I never use power tools, at least until they're, like, free by hand. If I can spin them by hand freely, I'll hit them with an impact. But I've never once needed to use, sometimes I need to use heat, but most of the time just some penetrating oil or, like, Rustol or whatever, and off she goes. Like this one I could probably hit with an impact, but it's tied up in there. And that was the other thing I wanted to film too. It's good to have a really long, ratcheting wrench or closed-ended wrench or something like that with leverage to grab tight bolts like this. So I'm not going to film a lot of this just because I'm in and out from under the car. If I had a lift, it'd be totally different. But I'm going to try to show you guys as much as possible. So in here we have, I don't know if you're going to see it, but we have this little fucking 10 millimeter bolt that goes through. This is going to slide right up. And that's for the steering, to the steering wheel. So that way we'll take that up so the steering wheel can be exactly where it is. And we'll have that put on first thing. So this is the first thing you take off. And once you get the new one on, that's the first thing you put on. That way, if you do pull, it's going to turn the steering wheel at the same time. It's already centered up. You're good to go. So no worries there. I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to disconnect the tie rod. And I'll show you guys this once it's all out. But I'm going to mark this where it is, kind of give it a rough alignment. I'm going to disconnect just the end link at the bottom here on both sides. So I can swing the sway bar up, disconnect the steering rack. And then I'm going to be able to slide it in and out after I take the hose, the connector, and the hard line off. So, and that's why I needed the exhaust moved, is it's way easier to get to it that way. So that's how we're going to do that. But it will slide out on the driver's side. You're going to pull it out just a little bit, and then you're going to pivot it forward with the sway bar up. You should have enough room to swing it from the input shaft. And then once you get past that, you can just simply pull it straight out. All right, so I have the old one out, new one right there. I'm out of breath. Ideally, the amount of tools I needed for all this, I think there's a few over there, but that's kind of like all I really needed. Now, I really need to get a shop and a lift. This job, by the way, is a real pain in the ass on the ground. Doable, obviously, but just yeah, it's a headache. My camera's about to die. Anyways, I'm going to go plug it in and let it charge. But I did want to show you guys how I had to take this off. Because it actually was pretty difficult. So I'll show you. Because I'm a visual learner. But when I put it back on, I'll show you how because how I put it back on is exactly how I took it off. But obviously in reverse. So I'm going to get this all situated in. And then I'll come back to that. I'm going to turn the steering wheel. It's on, so it's centered with the rack, and it's centered with the column. So now, I'm just going to turn it real quick, turn it around. Basically, probably would have been easier. Well, it'd be easier if I had help. But now I have it on the side where the bolt's going to go through, which is right here. My thing's about to die again for some reason. I was letting it charge. I don't know why it's not charging, but anyways. I'll put it in like that. Gonna send her home. I hear a sounds like a VQ with that's backfiring. It sounds kind of cool actually. The hell am I doing with my life? Oh, yeah, 12. Let's see if that fits in there. Then that fits. I'm going to just turn it like that. Okay. Impact. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, duh. Again, I would like a shop so I can... There we go. Double check tightness. Yep, we're good. And then what I did, so instead of tightening, obviously, I just loosened it. And now I just center it back up. And then I took it out. So I'm going to finish putting all this back together. I'll get with you guys when I have everything done, cleaned up, ready to go. We'll test it, bleed it, make sure it's all good. All right, so as it turns out, I totally forgot I was recording this. When I got finished, I was just like, I just got in that groove, you know, where I just kept working. But anyways, it's done, it's good, it's bled, everything's all set. It needs an alignment really bad. That's actually towed pretty good. And that's towed out pretty good. See, that looks straight. And that one looks straight. Yeah, the alignment's like off. Which, again, kind of knew that was going to be the case. So originally I was supposed to do the alignment right after this, because this was supposed to be coming to the shop I was working at on the side, but I ended up getting a different job. So there's that. But that's the basics of doing a power steering rack, I guess, on one of these Maximas. They're a pain in the ass. They're not as bad as the Ultimas. Or I want to say the steering rack. It's the power steering line. The high pressure line is a pain in the ass. That's good. I'm going to bill it out and finish this up. Now you guys all have a rest of a good week. Please share, like, comment this video. That really helps me. I got a lot of stuff. As you can see, if you've watched my last couple videos, got a lot of stuff going on. Not just work-wise, but personal-wise, too. So, until then, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.